Hey guys, what's going on? Sorry for the slight lack of content. I've had a really busy few weeks. I had to go to the hospital for some tests on my heart and just a whole load of stuff going on in my life. So apologies for the slightly delayed release in videos. I'm still playing this game, still love it. For some reason, every level past level 50 takes bloody forever to get past, but it is what it is. What I want to do today is talk about my favorite character in the game. Now, Veronica is one of my favorite characters, but really my favorite character is Kayron. He's just so damn cool, has a really cool gameplay loop. Admittedly, is a little slow to get going in fights, can sometimes scale a little slowly, but like it's just everything about him is cool. His mechanics are cool, his animations are the best in the game. He looks cool as fuck. Like, he's just a cool character. And I just love him. I think he's amazing. So we're going to go into a bit more detail about Kayron on this video. We're going to go through the guide of how I play him, and then we're going to do like a run together, because I like doing runs with you guys. The whole thing about my channel is like, I want to just have a chilled gaming session with you guys, and I love doing the full run throughs. Just doing, you can have it on in the background, just listen to me chat to myself practically the entire time. So yeah, let's dive into Kayron. Now, if you're looking at tier lists, people are going to say Kayron, he's good, but he's not amazing, and there are big reasons for that. The first thing that I need to tell you about Kayron is that he gets so much better once you get manifest ego upgrades. The first 3 upgrades that you get from him make him infinitely better. Like, they increase his power level a lot. This one changes Echoes of the True Abyss from a 3-card futility generator to a 5-card futility generator. There are upsides and downsides of that. One of obviously the upsides is you just get more futility, which means more futility to exhaust and therefore more scaling damage. Downsides are it does make it quite hard to manage hand size at certain points, because you have maximum hand size, and if you're adding 5 cards to your hand, obviously exhausting 1, so you're getting a net 4 increase in, or using 1, so you're getting a net 4 increase in cards in your hand. Sometimes you might not be able to realize the full potential of those 5 cards because they just can't fit in your hand. I'd love if there was an upgrade of any futility generated that don't get in hand are immediately exhausted. That would probably break this character though, but it would be awesome. For each futility cards used, deal 100% damage to all enemies. I believe that's fixed damage. It doesn't say fixed damage, but I think it's fixed damage. I'm not entirely certain. But either way, it means every time you either exhaust a futility or use it as an attack, you get a 100% damage AoE for free. And number 3, when you're using his ego skill, which exhausts futilities, it also adds any futility cards that are put into the graveyard. So you can exhaust all futility cards in your hand and all futility cards in your graveyard at the same time. You then have, all of these upgrades are good. I need to make it super clear. Like, there is, like, apart from this one, which is just like the standard 5th ego upgrade, every upgrade that Kayron gets is good and kind of broken. Whenever using a futility card, gain 1 Paradox of Nothingness, which is a buff. Paradox of Nothingness, for 1 turn, Kayron's attack damage increases by 10%, which goes up to a maximum of 30%, which stacks with a lot of other damage increasing mechanics that Kayron can get for exhausting or using cards, which all are based around futility. We'll skip 5 because it just increases those by 3. Whenever creating a futility card, there is a 50% chance to apply a random 1 vulnerable, 1 weakened, or 1 injured to an enemy. You create 5 with Echoes of the True Abyss. Now, I don't know, because I've not got this yet. I don't know whether this means that you could potential to create 5, like you've got 50% on 5 creations, or whether it's just using a card that generates futility. Either way, also very broken. Kayron gets better the more resources that you put in him. I'll quickly dive into potential. Some potential to be, have I got enough to get that yet? Not yet. I could. I mean, there's a lot of things. I'd rather just grind those. Getting the Elimination and Salvation upgrade 3-1, which increases their damage by 50% or healing by 50%, and gets the chance to generate a futility card, means that your basic attacks aren't actually useless. Obviously, can still be worth removing them from the deck, especially the heal, but actually you'll find that actually elimination cards can do a lot of damage and generate you a futility, so they're actually not a bad resource to have. Again, with any character though, there is always a world, always a sort of a place that you might want to be where realistically removing the cards from the deck is going to be the right answer. So yeah, this one increases Kayron's elimination damage if his attack is greater than 500, so another reason to keep eliminations around. And this one basically increases his critical damage if his attack's high. So Kayron's someone that really wants to have critical strike, gets benefits of critical strike damage, and basically can go for really big hitting attacks when you're using him. In terms of memory fragments, in my opinion, I haven't got perfect setup here, and I really need to do some work on my memory fragments. I just frankly can't be bothered. But Offering of the Void increases the damage of void cards, and futility cards are counted as void cards. So when you exhaust a card, you get a 20% damage increase on your void cards, and then you also have a 12% attack increase. The other option you could go for is the critical strike damage version. Both probably fine, but I think this is just the best setup for me. Increasing Kayron's attack obviously also increases it across those thresholds, which affects his potential, so that's also really important. Okay, so partners. I'm going to do cards list. I actually got really lucky and I pulled the absolute best partner for Kayron on the very first partner pull I ever did. I haven't done many partner pulls because frankly, like, they are probably the sort of the least useful. Well, I'd rather have dupes of a lot of my characters than I would having like lots of partners right now. This is the partner passive. When the assigned combatant generates a card, attack damage cards increase by attack card damage is increased by 10%, which stacks up to 3 times. When the assigned combatant generates a status ailment card for the first time, 25% attack card damage for 1 turn. So basically, again, Kayron generates status ailments in the form of futility, and then also generates a card. You can then stack up the damage to 30%. So you can see how you can stack your damage up really high with Kayron. Her skill: exhaust all status ailment cards, including those changed from status ailment cards, which means futility, and curse cards in the discard pile. So that's also very good if you've got a lot of curse cards in your deck when you're doing a run. Increase the damage of designated combatants' attack cards by 10% for each exhausted card. If you have the right setup on Kayron and you've got a couple of Echoes of the True Abyss, potentially the one cost card, because I can't remember the name of it, but the one cost card that sort of generates futility as well, you could potentially get up to 10 to 12 futility cards in your graveyard before you use this, and that's 120% damage increase potentially, which then also deals, which also then plays into Kayron exhausting cards and getting a damage increase. Then also, if you're exhausting futilities, will trigger the AoE damage. So she's basically the perfect partner for Kayron, and that's, if you get her, she massively increases his potential as well. All right, let's talk about the cards. Obviously, elimination can actually do quite a bit of damage. Again, like, removing basic cards is always a good thing because you thin out the deck for cards that you traditionally wouldn't want to use. Ultimately, the way you've got to think about it is, if I'm going to spend 1 AP, would I rather spend it on 192% and create 1 futility card, or I'd rather spend it on 274% and create 2 futility cards, potentially with an Epiphany upgrade as well? So obviously, they're not cards that you're going to want to keep, but Kayron does get a lot of potential increase on his elimination cards, so they actually have more use as a basic card than a lot of other characters in the game. Sphere you can get rid of though, because frankly you don't need it. Echoes of Futility. This is a great card, and it's got some really good upgrades. I personally lean towards a few of the specific ones. I lean towards Echo of Futility, 410% damage and 3 futility cards. I like that because you're basically increasing the damage of this card by about 150%, and you're generating another futility card out of it. The way that you have to compare this is, if I was going to do Echo of Futility scaling damage, so what this would mean is I get 20% increase for each exhausted futility. To match the amount of damage that I would get from just having a 410% damage flat, I would have to exhaust around 7 or 8 futilities. Now that's very possible, but it's somewhat unnecessary because you have other ways of scaling. But this is also a very good one, and obviously gives you a scaling option. We also have the 0 cost Echo Futility, which I really like, which is a very low damage to begin with. It will create 2 futility cards, but you'll get 30% damage for each futility created during this battle. Now that's infinitely scaling, and also doesn't rely on having exhaust mechanics around it. You would need to generate 10 to 15 to have it as a comparable damage. So bear that in mind. That's 2 Echoes of Futility with the Ego Manifest upgrade, and that can be quite difficult. So you've got to remember that this card is a slower scaling card. So a lot of this game is based around actually relatively quick fights. Like if you're doing any of the, any of the star-based maps, it's all about how quickly you can do it, the number of turns you can do it. You're not going to get infinite turns to make Kayron work in these scenarios. This is just, Kayron is slow, but this is just a little too slow, which is why I actually quite like making Kayron feel a little less slow by using this Echo of Futility. This Echo of Futility can be good, where it's X+1 futility cards generated, and you get 150% damage for each AP you spend. But you've got to remember that, like, compare that to a basic attack. If I'm going to spend 1 AP, do I want 150% damage, or would I prefer 200% damage, or 250% damage, or would I prefer to spend 2 AP on a black hole that's scaled better? So this, not a great one, although it does have some synergies with some items. And then this Echo Futility, I actually think it's the worst. It creates ephemeral on that card, which means at the end of the turn it exhausts. So it will automatically exhaust the cards. Now, this can be good, but you're only exhausting 2 futility with this. And actually, if the futilities have the Oath of Vitality upgrade, you don't actually use them, they just get exhausted. So I personally feel like this is the worst. Love to go towards this one most of the time, or the scaling with the exhaust. The otherwise is using the 0 cost, which is also good because it is 0 cost at the end of the day as well. So those 3 generally be the ones that I tend to gravitate to when I'm looking at Echo Futility. Brand of Annihilation. This is an interesting card. There are 2 that I like. I just like increasing the damage, and I'd like also making it permanently decreased when you exhaust futility. And because I have great ways of exhausting futility, this one actually becomes really useful for me. You can have a really big hitting 1 cost one for 40% damage for each card exhausted this turn. So if you exhausted 10 futilities in 1 turn, you'd have a better damage attack than both this version and this version. However, that's 10 futilities in 1 turn, and you're not going to be able to do that a lot. So, I'd rather have the flat damage increase. The Agony version, I don't love Agony Kayron, personally. I just think it's very good. It can be good with Tressa, but that's really the only partnership where it works well. And then this version is personally the worst. It has a slightly higher damage ceiling, can also benefit from things like damage increase to cards more than any of these other ones. But it is essentially turning one of your few really good AoEs into a single target damage spell, which you already have a really great single target damage spell, so you don't need to do that. Okay. Black Hole, my favorite card in the whole game. 410% damage, activate 2 futility cards from hand. Now that's 410% damage plus whatever your futility cards do. So that could be 180% damage, 180% damage, or something along those lines. Plus you're then going to exhaust those cards. Plus then you're also going to get if you've got the Manifest Ego slot, you're also going to get the 100% AoE damage. Can be good. It's good upfront damage. Do usually need to have the Oath of Vitality upgrade in place though. Otherwise, you're basically just exhausting 2 futilities. It's an okay one. This one here, flat damage increase and a scaling damage increase. This is my favorite. This, if you exhaust 10 futilities, which you can do pretty easily with your partner or with your ego skill, gives you a 1000% damage card. And it goes even further than that. So this is your big hitter. And I think with Kayron, you need this big hitter. This is the one issue that Kayron is somewhat held back by a little bit. His scaling comes in the form of 2 cards, Black Hole, and if you go for a scaling, Echo of Futility. If you don't get this Black Hole upgrade, his scaling doesn't feel as strong. This one here is 68% damage to a random enemy, add 1 hit for each exhausted futility, and it can do a max up to 5 times. This does benefit from cards that increase the damage of a card in hand. So Ray obviously has some good partnerships with this, but again, it has a limit to its scaling. 42% damage, add 1 hit for each exhausted futility, but only max up to 2 times. So the max this can go is just over 1000% damage, which, you would need to exhaust 10 futility to get there. And it also goes into a hit, a number of hits, which can be good, and obviously can also benefit from things like ray scaling, but it has a limit to how far it can scale. And then you have the Black Hole upgrade. When a futility is exhausted, it's 100% fixed damage, so it doesn't benefit from things like morale, doesn't benefit from any ways of increasing damage. It is 100% fixed damage. Now this you've got to put it into perspective. You exhaust 10 futilities on Black Hole here, and you get 1000% damage. You exhaust 10 futilities with Black Hole, you get 1000% damage, but it is fixed damage and doesn't benefit from things like morale, from weakness, anything like that. It can be really good, and I do like this upgrade. It is an upgrade where you don't have to spend any AP to get that damage, and also if you manage to duplicate that card, you get 200% damage for spending 2 AP, and that can scale very quickly and do a lot of damage. I do like that card. I think it just takes away some of the agency of scaling, and I do think the flat scaling increase version of the Epiphany is the best one in my opinion. Happy to be proven wrong. Echoes of the True Abyss cannot get an Epiphany upgrade, so Oath of Vanity is the last upgrade that we're going to talk about. I don't think the healing on Kayron is that important. So anything that is healing related, it can be useful, but if you're running Kayron with Mika, which you kind of have to because he is an AP whore, he's an AP whore, he loves AP, then like ultimately it you know, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My favorite one is this, just increasing the damage of futility. It basically means that if you're going to use a futility, you don't feel so bad using it. It becomes a pretty decent hitting attack, and turns them into relatively usable cards. I don't mind Oath of Vanity in terms of getting it as an initiation card. It means you're guaranteed to use it at the start. But Kayron's power doesn't really come from using an upgraded version of futility. Kayron's power comes from exhausting those futilities by whatever means necessary and gaining massive benefits on his other cards. Oath of Vanity is a really interesting one, and I do like using it. It gives you another method to exhaust all futilities that you have in hand, and you're going to draw a card for each of them. Why do I like this? Because once you've used Kayron's Manifest Ego skill, and once you've used his partner skill, they're actually the only other way to exhaust futilities that you're going to have access to is actually using those futilities. So obviously if you have the Oath of Vanity upgrade here, they become a relatively hard-hitting damage attack, which is quite good. However, if you don't have that, or you don't, obviously we know that's not going to be that efficient, that of an efficient use of AP, then this version becomes quite nice. It retains in hand, and it means when you use things like Echoes of the True Abyss, you can then exhaust those cards immediately and just gain the benefits of the exhausted cards. So that's pretty good. The other version is Oath of Vanity, and to me, if you're going to play Agony Kayron, this is the one that you need. When 3 futility cards are exhausted, 2 Agony tools enemies. If you get that, then you can actually play Agony Kayron pretty well. If you don't get this upgrade, then Agony Kayron goes in the bin. That's why I think Agony Kayron is always a little bit difficult, because ultimately if you don't get this upgrade, Agony Kayron is significantly less powerful. But yeah, Oath of Vanity, the skill upgrade is also really nice, and just gives you another way to exhaust futilities, especially after you've already used your partner skill and your ego skill. However, I will say, in most situations, using your ego skill and your partner skill is going to do way more than you need in terms of exhausting futilities. So that is Kayron. I'll show you some of the save data that I've had recently. So for instance, this version, I've got 2 scaling black holes. I've got Echoes of Futility. I love this attack skill because it basically means you can pull out one of the really important attacks. I like to pull out Echoes of the True Abyss really early to get those cards into my deck. So I've got this version, which I quite like. I've got a version here where I've got double Echoes of the True Abyss. No, triple Echoes of the True Abyss. Basically 15 new futilities into my deck. The only problem that I've got is I didn't get the good scaling upgrade black hole. However, if I can get 15 futilities into my deck and then exhaust them, they're still going to do a bunch of damage. So that's also really important. The only problem with this deck, there is no scaling damage in it, and so unfortunately the scaling potential of Kayron's a little limited here. So yeah, I'd say like those are the 2 decks that I'm kind of running with. I'm also running with this one, which is I've also got this one. This one, I took the tenacity damage and went for the hit version of the black hole. This works better with Ray, but it's not a bad deck either. I also went for the scaling Echoes of Futility here. I have got double Echoes of the True Abyss, so it does make it, you know, relatively good. I've got a lot of nice strong Epiphany upgrades on this version as well. But with that said, I think we should probably go and jump in and do a run. Okay, so I like to do the event chaos runs. mostly because I'm trying to push the levels up as high as I can get them right now. So we're going to go into a level 95, 1 fortitude every 3 turns. Okay. Decrease max HP by 20%, 2 fury every 3 turns. That's going to be a tough one. We're just going to have to hope that we don't go for 3 turns on the majority. A 12 tier, that is a 12 tier save data value. Kind of feel like I want to re-observe though, because that's going to be expensive. That's an 11 tier with a late 8. I mean, that's easy. 8 elite areas, I call that easy. So I'm going to run with Mika, Veronica, and Kayron. It's one of my favorite builds. Basically, Mika there to support the AP generation. Veronica there primarily for card draw, potentially buffing, potentially card reduction. And then we've obviously got Kayron. So this is what I'm going to go for. Now, I kind of like this comp because Veronica does not need a lot of AP to work. Kayron uses all of the AP. Veronica's there as a support / extra little bit of DPS. And obviously Mika is your primary healer and DPS giver. Right, let's see what we get from the opening. 1 to 3 neutral cards. Change 1 to HP for 2 normal battles. These can be potentially pretty good. So I really like self-generating experiment. And I like to give it to Mika most of the time. Because Kayron already has a lot of expensive stuff in his hand. This can potentially get reduced to 1, which is quite nice. Have thought about giving this to Kayron though before. So I'm going to give it to Kayron for the time being. Just means that his, I'm going to make his deck slightly better. Right, now, as we always do, we're going to look at the path. So what is the path that we want to take here? We've got Brand of Annihilation, we've got Repose. Okay, so not the best opening. 400 credits upon normal victories. We've got a potential for a random rare equipment, and we gain 1 random legendary piece of equipment for an anemia curse. This one is always okay because you'd have to fight 20 normal fights to make the 400 credits up, and you can gain a lot of credits elsewhere. So I kind of like Greed. It's pretty standard. Gives us gives us some ability to visit shops early on. Speaking of which, there are fuck all, so I'm going to have to go to this one for sure. So we go here, here, here. I like to go for as many question marks as I can. Go up. I think we are up gamers today. So we're going to go be an up gamer. Up gaming is what we're doing. Okay. Self-generating upgrade. Well, I might as well use it because I'm going to get an epiphany out of it. And it gives me a shit epiphany. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Right. We're going to take a bit of damage on this first turn. A little bit suboptimal. However, I will say, you can't heal stress without taking damage. It's got Brand of Annihilation reduced to 0, so that is rather good. We're just going to use that right now. Let's use Repose because we maybe get a heal out of it. So we've got a source of what I should have actually used this, obviously. Okay, so Kayron, I'm going to show you that this, eliminations aren't bad. And we've got a futility there as well, so we're going to do this. Might be able to finish off everybody. Yeah, we will. Nice. So we reduced the stress a little bit there, which is pretty good. I have my phone on loud at the moment, so I'm going to turn it off to vibrate only, otherwise you're going to hear my notifications all day. So we're going to go to this question mark here. Oh, got a good one. So we can remove 1 card. We could select and obtain 1 random neutral rare card, which can be good, or we can just take the credit increase. Personally, I like the idea of removing cards early on. And I'm going to remove cards from the decks that I most care about refining, which is going to be both Veronica's and Kayron's. So we're going to remove cards from Veronica's deck. We want Veronica to be primarily supporty here. Now, because there is no point me resting, I'm going to just train and just see what we get. We get Sadism, which is okay. Propagative Virus, which I don't love. This is alright against shielded targets. But Sadism's okay. I'm going to give it to... it can potentially reduce its cost to 0, and that can be always pretty good. So Sadism's alright. You know, a source of adding vulnerable to enemies is always quite nice. Now, I want to go to as many question marks as possible here. I do like question marks. Yeah, yep. We get a big game hunter, increase red credits. I'm going to take the roll here because we do need some equipment. Great. I think we'll probably end up just getting a rare here. Oh, don't we get this? I mean, this is kind of shitty. We don't usually end up below 50% HP, but it's always nice to get a bit of legendary equipment. Got to remember that if we skip battles, you generally skip Epiphanies. So obviously, the more battles you take, the more likely you are to get to Epiphanies as well. We've got quite a few here. Do this. Let's do this. It's going to give me, I assume, Echoes of Futility. Oh, Echoes of the True Abyss. We'll go for this. We will do that. Generate some futilities into my deck. So I've got 160%, 7%, or 179%. So we just take the extra damage, which is good. And depending on what happens next, we might use a partner skill. You don't want to sit on AP skills forever. So we do have no self-generating upgrade here. If we do that, that will take someone down to 27. I think we're going to use the partner skill here. Just shows you exactly what Bria does. So she's going to exhaust those futilities out of hand, which will give me some damage. My elimination now does 384% damage, which is quite nice. My futility will now also do that amount of damage, and I should be able to finish him off with the rapid fire. That is why you can boost Kayron's damage quite a lot, and why actually eliminations can still be very good. Got Blessing of Waves. We want to try and power through the basic Epiphanies. You can still get card Epiphanies if you haven't got all of your basic Epiphanies. That's worth noting. Okay, so we could get Administrative ID, which is actually pretty good. If you fight him, all you do is get some credits and Administrative ID. You could also just get a random Epiphany for one time, which is also pretty good. However, I really like Administrator ID. I'm also going to fight him because it means I get a bit of extra credits, and obviously I don't get credits elsewhere. So we're going to use Sadism. Unfortunately, not many ways to take advantage of that, but we do have the Oath of Vanity upgrade. And personally, just going to take this one. I don't like the Resolve one. There's no point playing Agony, so we're just going to take the one that increases the damage of my futility. We're going to go Firing Preparation. And that is going to be it. This guy is quite beefy, so we do want to try and ramp up. We've got Self-Generating Upgrade here. We are going to use Repose. We use Source of Water. And I will go Elimination, followed by Futility, just to exhaust it. Don't need to use the water barrier because there's nothing to heal. Can't reduce stress if there is nothing to heal, unfortunately. So he's now going to deal the majority of my HP and damage. I should be able to fit all of the futilities in by using Echoes of the True Abyss. This is why I like Self-Generating Upgrade, by the way. It's really nice. That's going to deal that. That's going to deal that. If I exhaust a card, it will increase my damage. That will then go up to 436%. So probably best to go down this path, and I should be able to futility, and I think that's going to be 2. I'm actually going to use this partner skill to end it. I don't want to take the damage, not worth it, so we're going to go for the elimination. And as I mentioned, we're going to get this, so I will give it to, personally going to give it to Veronica, and I'm going to get some credits because it's not a normal battle. I still get the credits despite having greed. Okay, this is where I am going to want to use one of my big skills. So let's see how it goes. We've got Self-Generating Upgrade here, so I'm going to use that, and I'm also going to use Firing Preparation. And just accept that I'm not going to deal much damage this turn. These guys are the guys that are going to hurt. So you just have to be aware of that. Evade does get me through that first piece of damage. So I've got Brand of Annihilation, but unfortunately I don't have any other good ways of reducing its cost. However, it's still going to be the most damage here. I think that's going to give me Black Hole. So it is. Might as well use it because it's 0 cost. I'm going to use it on this guy because he's going to attack next. So that is why I'm doing it this way. We will retain, I think we'll retain Blessing of Waves at least. So at least I'll have a way to heal next turn. So Veronica's the one that they're really targeting to get a bit of damage. We're going to Sadism, which is nice. Kind of want to go Oath of Vanity, but It's kind of a waste of a turn. So I'm going to use tactical analysis. Although I could go Echoes of the True Abyss. I don't think I'm going to fit all of them in my hand, unfortunately. I'm not. I'm probably going to do this. Get another one. I'm going to use my skill. Now, I could have done more damage here. Unfortunately, not enough hand space. I haven't actually played for 3 hours because I've just been having this sat in the background. Not that any of you guys are going to judge me. I will heal here, just because it should give me some stress reduction. And I'm actually going to use Oath of Vanity, because any futilities that I will generate next turn I'd like to make use of. That'll heal me back up to full, but I do have Echoes of Futility here, which is going to give me some utilities, which should be enough to help me get over the line, and it is. And we get 3 counterattack, which is honestly really shit for my team. Right, what we got here? So we could get convert cards into mutant sample, which I quite like. It does give me a unique bonus for these runs, or I could go for an Epiphany for one time. Converting the card is worth noting that it will be removed from your deck at the end. And I don't think it turns back into a basic card. So we are going to give it to... Kayron and get rid of the Sphere skill. I do like to keep eliminations in my deck. Because they can deal a lot of damage. Now, I will remove them if I need to. Generally, with this Oath of Vanity upgrade, my futilities generally tend to be more impactful than my eliminations. But eliminations do, of course, also offer... they do, of course, also offer... what am I going to say here, guys? They offer the chance to generate another futility, which is important. What random piece of equipment am I going to get? The Parallel Nexus, which activates 1 random lead card in hand, which actually, unironically, is pretty good for Kayron, because I've got that lead card. Now, I want to go to the card removal section, so I am unfortunately going to have to skip an elite, but I will get to go and do the spicy normal battle, which will give me some extra rewards, which is nice. The bane of my existence. Second, I thought I got cool. I did not. Okay. So, we've got sadism, we've got firing preparation, we also have brand of annihilation. Now, if you don't attack it, it won't do anything. So, I might just not attack it for the time being. And attack this guy. Did also get another ballista out of that, which was quite nice. So we're going to do a little bit of damage to this. However, I will start dealing damage to it when I do anything to do with Kayron. Let's have a look. This is going to give me a card epiphany. So this, in my opinion, is goated. Decreased cost of cards by 1 for 1 turn. Which gives me... Yeah, I mean, obviously if I draw a 0 cost one, then it is what it is. But Oath of Vanity upgrade. I am then going to go Echo of Futility on this guy. I'm then going to use Elimination. I will use Source of Water because I need to use it this turn, and I'm going to use it on that guy over there. And that's fine for the time being. We're okay with that. We could actually no, we get 1 wave, so we're going to do this. Unfortunately, this will end up damaging our little buddy, which gives me fire support drone, 20 damage, 3 mark. I'm going to hold on to that for the time being. It just depends if he now decides to run. He's not going to do anything for the time being. We've got Blessing of Waves here for 0, which is nice. We have Elimination there. And we've got Black Hole, which will then give me a hit. And I shall do this. I'm not going to do anything else for the time being. He's not choosing to run away just yet, because I haven't directly attacked him. We're going to use a heal. I'm also going to use this. And then I'm just going to use my Echoes of the True Abyss. Now, we need to be clever here. Oh, we did actually hit him with a Veronica. So now we need to be slightly clever. So we're going to go Futility. We're going to go fire support drone. Maybe that'll give me another one. We're going to go futility. I don't think we're going to get much further than this, unfortunately. We'll go repose and see if we can reduce any of the card costs. We can. We're going to go futility again. Nice. We're going to go rapid fire, which gives me a follow-up. Nice. That was really good. So we left him to the end, and we did end up getting something good. When drawing by an ability, increase damage by 20%. For 1 turn, 2 times per turn. I think she's the only one that's going to have a draw by ability for the time being. Right, so we're going to go up because I really want to go to the shop because I want to remove cards. I want to make my decks more consistent. Now I could, if I've got Veronica, I don't have Veronica's opening attack here yet. So there we go, self-generating experiment gets automatically used, which is actually really good. What we're going to do here is we are just going to use Echoes of the True Abyss. Not on that guy because there's not much point. It is, I could now use Kayron's skill, which actually be pretty good. Going to use it. This actually might give me the ability to potentially kill one of these other guys. Don't know. Really depends who I hit. Nah, never mind. Right, well, at least now I've got some stress to heal. Okay, we've got the counter attack. What I'm actually going to do here is that I'm going to use water barrier first, which actually healed me to full, annoyingly. And I'm just going to kill him. Okay, great. Got ourselves some shards. We are going to go to the question mark now. Ooh, dimensional tunnel. Okay. So dimensional tunnel, when you're looking for these, there is a skill that gives you the option, sort of the ability to see where it is. They are always going to be in the second half of the map, as far as I'm aware, and they will not be. I think they've got to be at least like 2 or 3 stops away from the end. So dimensional tunnel. This might mean that I do miss the shop, unfortunately, but the results are usually very good and worth it, so we're going to go for it. And we'll get ourselves a forbidden card. So draw 1 card for the cost of that card. 150% damage times 4. When drawing by an ability, decrease the cost of this card by 1. So could do a lot of damage and ultimately could be buffed up by Ray really well as well. However, the card draw is just very nice. Okay, we're going to jump in. I usually just take the absolute maximum rewards I can possibly get. So selected input gets epiphanied. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about the memory encroachment. I actually don't know what memory encroachment does. I guess I'll give it to Veronica. What is... I actually don't know what encroachment does. It just says memory encroachment 2. I like to keep going to the question marks. Yep. Debuff. So stress decrease by 9. I will just take more memory encroachment. Don't really know. Again, I don't really know what memory encroachment does. But stress decreases. Usually, stress is generally the run killer. Okay, so we've got to beat this bad boy. Okay. I think it gives you those curses at the start. Right, what we're going to get. Right, so this is important. Create 1, but so that's a resolve 1. Create 1 giant ballista. I mean, giant ballista is the way to go. It's better than everything else that I've just been offered. It gives me some extra AoE, which is always really nice. And we're going to actually just generate some futility in my hand and do a bit of damage. This guy is void weak, so this is where Kayron becomes very good. Shuffles everything back into my deck, which is annoying. I did use self-generating upgrades, so I'm using that for free. That's good. I can't really use anything else here, so I'm just going to say thank you very much, and off you go. I do like the 50% chance to generate an extra ballista most of the time. Got disposable curse here. Got nothing to I'm going to hold on to that. Let's see what I get from Repose. I get Water Arrow, which I do kind of want to remove. Yeah, I probably should have used this if I'm honest with you, but I didn't really. I'm going to get rid of this. This guy's going to attack me a little bit, but not too much. And I will use this. Get rid of it. I would like to use Echoes of the True Abyss, but I'm going to use Tactical Analysis first. It'll just free up some space in my hand. I think I would have been fine hand size anyway. But we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Now the question is, I think I'm going to kill him, so I'm probably going to use this. This is going to give me... I really like getting the shield equal to amount heal overflow, because it basically means I can use that even when I'm at full HP, which is nice. I'm just going to go for the kill. So equipment we get is, on Ravage, 150% fixed damage to the target. That's pretty good for this particular run. Let's see where we end up in this dimensional portal. Probably missing one shop, but that's fine. The second tunnel in the second phase is actually much better. Yeah, so I missed that one shop, so now I've just got 3 elite battles. It doesn't really matter where I go. Just this version again, but just the harder version of him. Firing Preparation, Oath of Vanity, and then I'm going to slap him with a skill. Not much else I can do. I don't want to overuse my EP here. Great, that's really nice. Echo of Futility. Right, here we go. For this one, I just like going for this version. We've already got Brand of Annihilation here, so I'm just going to use more Futilities if I can. And I'm going to use a big one. Don't think that's going to get a Ravage, but I will get a Ravage next turn. Okay, so my evade helped me avoid that for the time being, which is nice. Great. We got that. We are going to use this to get it out of my hand, and then I'm going to go for Echoes of the True Abyss. We broke him and dealt some fixed damage, and we are just going to slap attacks at him. Really nice. Might not even need to use an EP skill, but it really depends on what he's going to do here. So I could exhaust. I think I've got some futility here. I've got 4, so I think it's actually worth using this to basically increase the odds that I'm going to definitely get what I need to get done here. I think with just elimination, I should be fine. So that'll be loads of damage with elimination, and then futility is going to do even more. And we get the win. Worth it to use 3 EP just to guarantee that. Increase damage amount by 12%. Well, I might as well give it to her. Right, we finally get to remove a card again. So remove a card. We are going to remove... I'm going to remove Rapid Fire. I want to thin out Veronica's deck. I don't really care that much about... I don't really care that much about Mika's deck. I'm gonna rest here, even though I don't need the HP to reduce stress. Like I said, the biggest run killer for me in general tends to be stress, so that's what I'm doing. Right, we're jumping into the boss. These honestly, the bosses on this particular rift are just really easy. Right, well, I think in this case what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for all of the upgrades, get them out of the way. Thin my deck out. Once you've used the upgrades, they go. Obviously, it's like exhausting a card, so we're just going to try and thin our deck out here. Let's have a look what we get for sadism. 1 weaken to all enemies. I like doing 1 weaken and 1 vulnerable. That's quite nice. Tactical analysis. That's going to give me Whirlpool, I guess. I still don't have Whirlpool. Yeah. Oh, Deluge. I don't have Deluge. Wow. Okay. Bit of damage to him. Might as well, again, since I have the ability to use the pendant. Water Arrow still continues to be the most useless card across my decks, but I don't care too much about Mika's deck personally, so Okay, we've used it. That's nice. So we've got Blessing of Waves we could use. I could just go for Futility. Obviously, because he's weak, I get a lot of damage out of this. That's nice. Just going to exhaust as many Futilities as I can here. Taking him pretty low. I don't have that many Futilities in my deck, so... So Kayron took a bit of heat there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Source of Water. I'm not getting many, like, awesome Epiphanies. When recovering, reduce the cost of a card by 1 for 1 turn. Which I quite like. I also like the decreased stress of allies. Source of Water being 1, but gaining 2 AP is basically like making it 0. When recovering, decrease the cost of... Decrease cost by 1. You have to actually heal to get... You have to heal before to get it, but yeah, I think just going for the stress recovery is quite nice. And then go for a big heal here to get a nice big stress recovery. Use the free Ballista. Let's go for Repose to get out see what we bring out. Definitely want to use Echoes of the True Abyss here. I think I'm actually going to get this, which is going to give me a Ravage. I'm going to be able to use 2 of these. Great. I wanted to use some of them because unfortunately they're now all getting shuffled back into my deck. So this is just a 0 cost card. I can't really do anything else for the time being. Actually, that's all I can do because of the curses. He's going to heal, which is okay. Again, Replicate Ego. Can't do much with it. So I'm going to use Elimination. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. And I'm just going to have to accept that. Got nothing else I can do this turn. I want to get my black hole. I'd love to get an Epiphany on my black hole. It's a lot of annoying sadism. I think we are going to kill him before I can heal up here. Dead. Yeah. What card can we copy? I personally like copying Echoes of the True Abyss. Just gets more cards into my deck. Extra attack damage 35%. I honestly just think that's better than Ravage. Just the 35% extra damage is just really nice. Get myself some more memory fragments, and I have now got a forbidden disposable skill, which I am going to give to Veronica, who's my card draw machine. One second. Okay. Start of turn, decrease 1 random cost. I like that. Yeah, I just like that. I mean, I think I'm going to end up having too many cards to make that work. As in, like, I'm not going to have enough cards in hand to even use all the AP that I'm generating. So where do we think the dimensional tunnel is going to be? I'm taking bets that it is going to be here. I think this is the dimensional tunnel. So I'm gonna plan as if that is the case. I'm gonna go across, down, there. I'm gonna take the bottom path, and then I'm gonna plan as if the dimensional tunnel is there. Ooh, scary hand man. Okay, so self-generating upgrade, fire preparation. Got deluge, which is nice. I'm really glad we drew repose. We've got a really, really efficient deck at the moment. Got Brand of Annihilation. I've got Echoes of the True Abyss, which I want to start generating some cards. They're going to go in, and I'm going to be able to exhaust one straight away. Not going to do anything else with that for the time being. It's perfectly okay. Veronica will go crazy at some point. I just have to accept that. Right, so I'm going to use Tactical Analysis to get it out of the way. I'm going to use Rapid Fire to get it out of the way. I then will use Faith of Vitality, and I'm going to use Echoes of the True Abyss here. I've got 2, so that's getting me loads of futility into my deck, but I'm going to be able to use one as an attack. I'm actually going to use another one as an attack. Okay, that we evade that one, which is nice. We've got Sadism. which is going to make that black hole there. I'm actually going to use... thinking about whether I even need to use that. Let's use Forbidden first. Echoes the trip. We've got... Okay, I actually don't even think we need to use that, so we're going to use this. Got another futility. It doesn't matter. Killed him. OP. We're going to go here again. Not got many shops on this run. I've actually tried to attack this guy and I end up never doing very well. Sorry, I think this is the one where the answer is hope. The ones who built these will believe they had everything without having anything. At the end of the creation, they make destruction. They made themselves king only to become fools who lost everything. Oh. I didn't actually read the question very well. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, well, at least I still get the upgrade. That's fine. Draw one. Absolutely. Well, we get a random curse, but I can exhaust that, so... I did not read the question, unfortunately. I just kind of skimmed through it and thought I'd be able to read it as many times as I wanted, and I don't know why I didn't read the question properly. Might be because I'm kind of dumb. Do all of these upgrades. I might as well. No real reason not to. And then we're going to go... bam, and then there's not much else I can do for the time being, because I can't use water barrier when I've got no damage to me. Oof. I would like Veronica to go crazy at some point, if I'm honest with you. Let's just get rid of schizophrenia. Going to hit me for a decent amount here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this. I'm actually going to use this to get some damage reduction and some healing. I'm going to use Echoes of the Tribus. Again, you don't really want to be wasting EP if you can help it, so... I'm going to do this, and I'll be pretty happy. My futility cards don't actually heal anymore, so... Poor Veronica. Well, let's do that. Let's heal ourselves for a massive amount. Let's then Echoes of the Tribus this guy once again. Probably just going to use this to free up some more space in my hand. And then Echoes of the Tribus again. Well, you know that one. Now I have a billion futilities in my deck. Unfortunately, I don't have the right skills to remove them. But honestly, should be able to win this turn. But Veronica is about 2 seconds from going insane. So, you know, that's always good. Latent Epiphany, Sir Kowalski. We didn't have Sir Kowalski yet. Right, well, I want Veronica to go insane and then get out of being insane in this fight. That would be good. Annoyingly, I don't have an easy way to do this. But I managed to get enough done that it makes sense. This guy, you need to use attacks, otherwise the cost of your cards go up. I do think Veronica is going to go nuts, though. But that's okay. We haven't had anyone go nuts for the time being. Oh god, she hasn't gone nuts yet. That's actually really annoying. Let's use Water Arrow. Followed by Echo of Futility. Followed by Echo of the Tribus. And he's dead. I guess in this case I'll just use the Pendant. And I'll just get rid of some status cards. Right. Veronica, I would like you to get out of this pretty quickly. Right, so we've got 3 in hand here. Oh, she's out of it straight away. Wow. One Spin Johnson. What I need to do, unfortunately, is probably, you know, I'm not gonna get it. I need to Sir Kowalski. I'm actually gonna do this, and I might even have to use Veronica's 1-cost skill here. Now we need to do this. We've got elimination. We still have rapid fire. Unfortunately, that's not enough. Just going to accept that I'm going to take a bunch of damage here. That's okay. hoping to heal back some of this. Let's use this first. See what we get. A blessing. Let's use tactical analysis and draw one. Great. Actually looking really good for a big heal this turn. And I actually think otherwise, I'm going to kill this guy. Nice. And then he dies. Cool, we got a nice big heal and we reduced all our stress. Now we're going to go into the elite battle and be happy. Oh, dimensional tunnel. Well, I was wrong. It was on the first section of the map. I thought they could only be on the second section of the map. However, I'm very happy that I chose right. This dimensional tunnel is really good. It gives you credits. It gives you Epiphany, and I think also gives you access to a potential rare card. You do have to get through a few fights. And this guy is, well, see, these dimensional tunnel fights don't, as far as I'm aware, not actually scaled to the level that you're in. So they're not actually scaled to the level of the or as far as I can work out anyway. I mean, that might be complete bullshit, but it doesn't feel like they're scaled to the levels. We're going to go for Echoes of the True Abyss here. Quite a bit of damage. How much damage is he going to do? He's not actually going to deal that much damage, and I'm going to get a bit of shield by using Repose. And then I will just heal myself. Yeah, again, I want to hold on. I do kind of want to hold on to my EP just in case I get to a harder fight. But that's okay. 3 there. Got Source of Water, which is I should have used this, of course. Echoes of the True Abyss is going to get the win. Great. Yeah, don't think that's great. We'll get rid of it. Got an elite fight now, and this guy has how much HP? Yeah, again, this is not scaling. This can't be scaling to the level of the zone that we're in. You get really great rewards, but you're definitely not fighting the level of the right level. Okay, so we've got Echoes of the True Abyss here, and we've got this. Oh god, I'd love to get rid of some of this shit. So we've got Schizophrenia and Bleed. If we use Echoes, I think I should have enough space for all 5 futilities. I do. Do I want to use this? It won't kill him, but it is an elite fight, so maybe worth it. Yeah, I think it's worth it just to use it to sort of deal some damage here. Get rid of the Schizophrenia as well. If only this actually got rid of all status effect and curse cards, that'd be really nice. I'm going to keep her 1 cost ego skill in my back pocket for the time being. Ouch. It's fine. Plenty of healing to be done, which can also, again, like I said, decrease stress. I should be able to one-shot him with Black Hole, so I'm just going to look to heal a little bit here, and Black Hole should do the rest. Boom. Off you go. Equipment. Yeah, this is better than that. Applying vulnerable to all enemies when an enemy is defeated is better than that. Right, so we're going to go here. And then you see these guys talking to, basically saying, wow, we did such a good job in torturing this child. And then we click on them and get various rewards. Yep. So we get aimed attack. Frankly, I don't like any of these. And personally don't think it's worth it. So we won't take any of those. This one I think gives us credits. Oh no, it gives me a evolution on this one where it is when another card uses a skill at the start of the turn, 2 agony to all enemies, 1 morale, 1 resolve. I mean, I'll take a free morale and a free resolve. Not great that it's on the agony one, but whatever. It's always good to have a little bit of agony, just a little bit of chip damage, never hurts. And we will then leave. So you get a like a Nihilum upgrade, you get a potentially really good card, and then you also get some credits, which is nice. Now I have loads of credits, and I need to figure out where I've ended up on the map. So I'm still in the right place on the map, which is good. Haven't skipped the shop from what I was thinking about. There isn't a shop to skip. So I think in this case, we're just going to go straight down the middle. The maximum number of battles possible. There we go. Projection of Desire. I think we get a Nihilum upgrade here. So I want to go for a Nihilum upgrade. And I want to do it on... Yes, that was the card I wanted to do it on. 2 vulnerable. That is incredible. That is such a good upgrade. 2 vulnerable to the target, and it's the scaling black hole. I'm on track to make one of the best Kayron decks I've ever had. Okay. Let's see what we get here. This recovery ampule. Well, I use the forbidden card. Yeah, I mean... It's better than the Heart of Gold, which frankly wasn't that useful. Right, now we just need to make it through this level. I think feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Right, Deluge upgrade. Firing preparation. Draw 1. Sir Kowalski. Okay. I'm probably just going to apply the vulnerable to him, in all honesty. A nice bit of damage to begin with. Got elimination here, which is going to give me a futility. Echoes of the True Abyss will mean I will miss out on 1 futility here. So, what do I want to do? I could get rid of Water Arrow, then use Echoes of the True Abyss. I could use Repose, but let's... I want to maximize my futility. We are going to break him here as well. In this case, I will then now use this, but it'll only draw 1 card. Which gives me Echo of Futility, which gives me a lot of damage. Might as well just burn 1. Fine. A little bit of damage done, but nothing major. Right, so we're going to go Source of Water. We're going to go Blessing of Waves. Get a nice big heal. We will then use this, because it's a nice upgrade. We'll then use Oath of Vanity as well. I will randomly do this, because why not? And then we'll just do that. Nothing major occurring that turn. Right, so we've got self-generating upgrade. We're going to use Echoes of the True Abyss here. And we should be able to finish things off with a futility. Monster card. I have a feeling this monster card sucks. Activate the bottom 1 card of the draw pile. Choose 1 card in hand and move it to the bottom of the draw pile. It's nice. That's actually pretty good. Is it worth having that in my Kayron deck? No, I think that's more of a Veronica card. Nah, get rid of that. But we got so many credits. Like I'm gonna have to just spam refresh the store and see if I get anything good. Okay, so we've got Brand of Annihilation that's reduced in cost. So let's use Deluge for the time being. Let's use Firing Preparation, which we need to kind of always use, and then let's just use that. That's fine. We have got Giant Ballista, so if we can somehow buff up Veronica, we're not really playing a Veronica deck, but if we can somehow buff up Veronica, we can get some value out of it here. Let's get rid of Schizophrenia. Let's go for Chilling Godfather. That's going to get an upgrade straight away, so that should be able to go. Apply 1 Weaken to all enemies. Apply 1 Mark to all enemies. I like the idea of some more Weakens in the deck. Let's put back... Let's draw 1. Let's put back that. We don't really need it. Fine. Oath of Vanity. Tactical Analysis to draw a card. And I've got Echoes of the True Abyss here, which is a really, really good card draw. Because I can make use of my AP. And I'm also going to have a Futility, which will also deal some extra damage. And bam, get a little bit out there. Oh, that's a big hit. Sadism as well. So we're going to use Sadism here. Nice Weaken. Let's use the free water. I should really get rid of that, shouldn't I? We are going to break him, which is nice. We're going to do this again. And do this again. I then might just heal myself for a little bit of stress reduction. And then bam. Alright, so this guy is now going to start attacking me like I am, you know, like I've assaulted his family. Use that. Go for elimination. Let's go for repose here. We've got source of water, which we're going to use for a heal. We are then going to use this. We are then going to use this. And then we are going to use black hole. If I could copy this black hole, I'd be the happiest man on this planet. Kind of forming the nuttiest Kayron deck you've ever seen. We'll use the zero cost Sir Kowalski. We're going to go and use futility. And then use futility again. We're then going to use Echoes of the True Abyss. And then we'll probably just use another futility. Boom! You'd love to see it. Another fight. We've basically got 3 fights in a row here, but that's good. We're happy with that for potential Epiphanies. Right, let's keep going, everyone. Right. Okay, so we have this dude. Oh yeah, this is not a fun one. At least we do have obviously a giant ballista which can help. Let's go deluge because we get a free AP out of it. This might actually be the time where I use this. If I'm honest with you, it makes the most sense because it's 1 cost. I'm going to put a lot of pressure on them. I'm going to get rid of all the little dudes. Use Echoes of Futility here. We'll then use Black Hole to apply Vulnerable. Should have done it maybe the other way around. Of course, I should have done it the other way around, like an idiot. That's okay. And then we've got Piercing that definitely gets in onto him. Okay, so he's going to do some damage here. Let's go Bombardment Prep. It's going to give me reload stacks, which are important, which is going to deal, hopefully, decent amount of damage. Do this. We'll then use a futility. I'm actually going to get rid of the schizophrenia. We'll take a bit of damage here, but that's okay. Oh. My poor, wonderful Mika. Got a nice big reduction in damage there. Let's actually use Sadism. Then let's use Chilling Godfather. We're going to put that one back. And we're going to use Echoes of the True Abyss on a randomer. That's actually the best randomer that we could have used it on. Let's use Sir Kowalski. Rapid fire onto that guy. Use one of those to get a bit of AoE damage and get a load of damage down from the ballista. Okay. We should be able to win here. That's going to do a lot of damage. Is it going to do enough damage? Use Repose first. The pendant. Great. We're going to go Echoes of the True Abyss here. We are going to heal before we end this. Because we need to. Okay. This should be fine now. Great. A little bit dicey. Mika's looking like the next on the chopping block, but I've got a couple of fights to either try and reduce her stress or just make it so that she does, you know. Let's start off with... I mean, I always start off with fire in preparation. Let's go to repose. Fine. We've got self-generating upgrade here, which we might as well use. Deluge. And we will go in on this guy for the time being. Nice. These guys are actually really annoying. They basically gain a load of morale. Let's start off with Chilling Godfather. Buy some weaken, get rid of that. Blessing of Waves to get some shielding, which is quite nice. I actually forgot that I had that upgrade. Sir Kowalski. We've got Brand of Annihilation there. Let's go like that. Let's also go like that. And then do some damage. These guys can be a real pain in the ass, but Got 8 morale. This is not looking fancy. These guys are going to start hurting a lot. A lot. Right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We are then going to do this. We are then going to Echoes of the True Abyss this guy. We are unfortunately not going to be able to... I don't think going to be able to... Well, I could use this, which will give me reload stacks. I'm not going to be able to get a full hand of Echoes of the True Abyss. I'm going to do that. Will give me quite a lot. Is that going to be enough? That will be enough to kill all of them, so we'll just do that. It was more than enough to kill all of them. That's so much damage. Great. They're like one of my least favorite fights in the entire game. Have we got any Epiphanies anymore? None. Oh, getting a bit cucked on the Epiphanies here, guys. Let's go Deluge. These guys you need to hit several times, which is kind of annoying. I might use Repose here because it's probably going to be more impactful. Blessing of Waves and goes. I might as well use that because this guy's going to attack me. So need to hit them 3 times. It's really annoying. Oh, we use this. We will then use this and send Schizophrenia to the bottom of my deck. Does that. Let's use Tactical Analysis, which gives me Source of Water. Let's use Kowalski. Give me Black Hole. Oh, not great, is it? How many, I don't even really have any, cards to use. That's a lot of damage, though, on the main guy. Oh, Mika's on her way out. Well, we've got Bombardment Prep here. That will kill this middle guy. That's definitely going to kill this guy. He's got 2, he's got 3, so he's the most likely to actually be able to take down here. Let's Futility him. Elimination's going to do that. Element of Futility is going to one-shot him. Alright, so we're just going to have to accept that this guy is going to transform. He's going to transform in 1 turn. Well, this is actually not looking too bad. Do that. And then Echoes of the True Abyss, the 0. I love getting a lot of 0 cost cards. It's nice. Then Futility. And then I'm going to heal myself. Actually, Mika, I should have just let Mika go insane. Well, I'm going to go here because hopefully I get a good... Okay, I get Laboratory 0. I mean, this will help me. This will reduce the HP of the boss. But this boss is so easy anyway. I mean, that's quite nice. Who would I want to remove, though? We just need some armor. This is good. This reduces the HP of the boss. I don't really need to reduce the HP of the boss, but it's not a bad thing to do. Right, so Mika's going to go insane in this next fight. Let's just actually spend our money, though. So we're going to go and remove a card. I'd actually like to remove this other Rapid Fire to make Veronica's deck more consistent. Reinforced Combat Suit is actually pretty good, so we're going to buy it. Hidden Bullet, Forbidden Algorithm. Oh. I've always wanted that, to try it out. I've always wanted it to try it out, and I'm going to give it to Veronica. Although, actually... 1 random lead card in hand? Alright, well, we're just going to give it to him because I can activate 1 random lead card in hand, which is great. We just need 1 more piece of equipment. And I've got enough money to consider a good one, as in like a legendary. I mean, Rally's quite nice. Mutagenic Wave Amplifier. It's really good, but I kind of like the lead. Standard gas mask. Yeah. Incomplete carapace is quite nice. Just in case we have the cards in hand. Alright. Take the heal. Reduce the stress. See if Mika goes insane, which she will, but hopefully she won't matter too much. Oh, this guy's shiny. Shiny boss. Oh my god, look at the HP on this bad man. So Blessing of Waves is going to have a Epiphany. I don't really want to use it right now though. Firing Preparation. Hello? Sorry guys, wife called. Right, I think what I'm going to start with is this one. I'm then going to use my Blessing of Waves skill here. Oh, I actually don't even have Whirlpool yet. That's insane. I'm then going to use Sir Kowalski. Which is going to give me, a Nihilum upgrade on Sir Kowalski. Increase the damage of a ballista by 30% for 1 turn and reduce the cost of this card by 1. Select and exhaust 1 ballista in hand. That's I like keeping it to a draw. So we'll do that. Chilling Godfather is quite nice here. Because we're going to then basically put this to the bottom of the deck. And then use, I exhaust Schizophrenia, which is quite nice. And then don't really want to use Sadism. There's not much point. Well, I suppose there is a point. Right, okay, so we did a bit of damage to him. This guy's got a lot of HP. I am a little worried about Mika, obviously. I also really need to start scaling. So I don't want to draw. I want to use Echoes of the True Abyss here. Now, I do kind of just want to use this to clear out my hand. Because I can't fit any more Echoes of the True Abyss here. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to clear out my hand. Because the extra futility obviously increases the damage, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. We are going to get some stuff back here. We've got Tactical Analysis, which will draw 1. We've got Bombardment Prep, which will do that. It's annoying. I will use Tactical Analysis. I'm going to use Brand just because it's free for the time being. I'll use Tactical Analysis here for a bit of wave, which will give me Repose. I did kind of want to use Echoes of the True Abyss here. I will use this. And I want to go and use Echoes of the True Abyss again, because I do just want to try and get as many utilities in my hand as possible. Although annoyingly, not the right partner skill. So, I mean, Mika will go insane here. It's the first time that Mika's gone insane. I do have the ability to heal via one of my partner skills for the time being. However, Mika does not have many cards. Use Oath, because that actually makes my things more useful. I'm gonna break him here. That's 359, that's 390. I actually might use that just to get another futility in my hand. Right. This guy has got a lot of HP. Like 25%. It's kind of crazy. Come on, get out, Mika. Get out, Mika. Oh, this is not going to be a great turn. I am just going to take the damage here, unfortunately. I will get Mika out of this next turn. Right, so Mika's going to go out here. She's out, which means I will have the ability to get a cheaper skill out of her. I am going to use this. There's a few reasons I'm going to use this. It's going to give me some healing, which is important. I'm going to heal here. I'm going to heal here. Let's use this forbidden skill. Chilling Godfather. Whirlpool. So does that keep us alive for the time being? I think it does. I'm actually going to use this to heal and get some damage reduction. Black Hole will now deal a lot of damage, but not enough. This guy is very beastie. And we're going to use Brand of Annihilation again as well. We probably don't have long to beat this guy, if I'm honest with you. I don't know how many turns I'm going to survive. Stress is not going to be the problem. It's going to be how much healing I can do. Okay. Every 4 cards in hand, draw for each one here. Alright, so I kind of want to start with Blessing of Waves, but let's do this. Okay. Use Repose. Let's use Sir Kowalski. Let's then use this healing, because we might as well. Let's use this. And I think, realistically, I just need to exhaust as many of these things as I can. Because I am not surviving another turn of a hit. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do 8,000 damage, unfortunately. Use sadism. Use tactical analysis and draw one. Gosh, this is not looking too hot for me. Basically, just gotta hope it's not... I mean, it is gonna be Kayron, I think, obviously, that goes insane. Oh, just... Please don't be Kayron that goes insane after this. If it's not Kayron, it will be Kayron, though. Oh, there was a chance. There was a chance I could have got out of this if it wasn't Kayron. That's unfortunate. There's nothing. There's going to be nothing for me to exhaust. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I'm going to die on this turn, I think. I might as well use this. I might as well use this. I might as well use this. I don't think, unfortunately, Veronica is going to deal enough damage to... Yeah, that's not going to do it. If it just wasn't Kayron, we might have got away with this, but... Oof. That was tough. That boss was tough. Rough, man. And everyone... It's one of the best Kayron decks I've ever got, and I think I might have, unfortunately, not got everything that I wanted out of it. And I've got to go to the Epiphanies Center and do everybody's. Great! However, that was a really tough boss. I did not... That boss had 25k HP, which was a challenge. Might have been able to win if Kayron didn't hurt. If I didn't lose Kayron, I probably could have won that with Black Hole if I'd managed to cycle Black Hole one more time. But we'll try again. That was tough, but really fun. Really fun.